And so once you're responsible, I mean, once you have knowledge, you're responsible for the knowledge. If you don't use it, the karma says you will be, I won't even say what will happen to you, but if you have knowledge and you're not responsible for using it, it's terrible what happens to you. It's terrible. I don't even think about it.
You ever think of like just having like a petition and pass it around that people could sign?
I did. We did. That's come up recently, Thursday night at the wormhole we were talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe
and wherever you speak, you just have the petition.
Right. Right. That is a good idea. I have. Actually, I already have it. It's right here. There's a building code right here. 15 points. The new code. All buildings, after a certain date, all buildings should meet the following specs. The structure, roof, walls, floors, and other elements of the building must be made of fireproof materials. These are just common sense, down-to-earth goals for what we build in the future. And this building code, I think, should become like, people should just copy this building code, sign it, and send it to the president and say,
there you go.
I think we need to adopt this as a national code. All buildings should meet these specs after a certain time. The government ought to make loans available to educate people how it can be done, blah, blah, blah. Al Gore wrote a book about it called The Earth and the Balance. He called for a global Marshall Plan. This is the global Marshall Plan. This is what all nations should get behind. Building an infrastructure that will support all life on Earth today without destroying anything. Now, you have to destroy something to build these things. I'm not saying you don't have to destroy something to build the original thing itself. But right now, everything we do is destroying something. After you build a house today, you still have to go on destroying everything by just turning on a light, flip on the fan. That's creating acid rain. That fan's generating acid rain in addition to blowing air on us. So this new code is the direction. It doesn't require that we all agree to any religion. It doesn't require that we all agree to support any given company. It doesn't require that we all agree
to even how it's implemented.
To even how it's implemented. It just requires that we all say, yes, I think all buildings should be fireproof. Why should we build a building where people can die in a fire? And yes, I think all buildings should be built so that people don't die from drowning in case of a flood. Yes, I think that buildings should be built so they maintain their utility services during earthquakes and floods and things like that. Why should the power go out? Why should you have to boil your water? I mean, why should all that? It's not necessary. All we have to do is collectively realize, by copying this code and sending it to other people and saying, why don't we do this? You're doing all you can do, and you're doing enough. Because if everybody does that, this will all come about.
Have you corresponded with Ralph Nader?
Yep. I've corresponded with everybody you can think of that should be on this, and they're not. And I don't know why they're not.
Did you get a response from Ralph Nader?
No, you don't get you can't get a response from somebody.
We get an autoresponder from the White House constantly. You know, it comes back on the email.
I got a printed form letter response back from Werner Erhard. I've gotten all kinds of, Prince Charles had his secretary write me back and say he didn't have time to look at it, basically. And I mean, I've gotten lots of responses from people, but they're not the kind you want.
I read a book about a psychic woman that passed on in 1980, and she described homes that would be built that sounds exactly. Yeah, said when the New Age started that people would live in round homes that were completely self-sufficient.
Right.
There they are.
It will come to pass.
Yes, it will. It's been predicted by many people, actually.
Well, you all are responsible, all of you sitting right in this room. Now it's your responsibility. You know about it, now you all can take it out into the world.
It's like a baby's just been placed in your arms.
Because we've never given this presentation before. We've never, ever been in front of, you know.
I've never done this before.
You're the first group, so it's all
No
in
one's
your
ever asked me.
hands. If you're interested,
When you
if
use
you
the
want to
term
see it come
envelope,
about.
what is that, just the glass interior with the glass
It
exterior?
refers, envelope refers to the exterior wall of a building.
The word
The
And what I,
structure, the basic structure?
the skin. The envelope is a term interchangeable with skin, exterior skin of a building. But what I have here is a double envelope with an airspace in between it. And
What does that
that's
make out of it? Is it an air envelope?
the airspace or the envelope, anything.
Lightweight concrete in this
Anything.
case. What he wants to
In the
design
case,
it
what
out.
I think all buildings should, I think the structure of all buildings should be made out of lightweight concrete. You could put wood over it, or brick, or fabric, or paint. In other words, it can look like anything. It can look any way you want it to look. It could look like a Cape Cod Key West cottage with wood siding. But structurally, integrally, it's made by these designs, which means it would not burn, and it wouldn't sink. And it doesn't get its utilities from the grid. It produces its own utilities.
There's an architect at 205 Worth Avenue, his name is Blue. Have you familiar with him?
Blue? Wow, I thought I knew all the architects over there.
He used to teach at Berkeley also.
Wow.
Now he's doing a few properties in Palm Beach, and I can certainly contact him.
Well, I'd like to meet him. Yeah,
He's very
I know
good.
most of the other architects in Palm
Yeah,
Beach, but I don't know Blue.
I don't remember his real name.
205 was it?
It's on the second. If he's, I'm
That's
sure
in
he's still
the
there.
Armor
Armor building.
Arbor building, yeah,
Where's that?
on the corner.
It's right on the corner of County and Worth Avenue.
Where Scott Snyder's office used to be.
Oh, up there, yeah.
But I think he would be interested because he is avant-garde and he does have a lot of different ideas. He just isn't able to implement them because he was starting a business there.
Right,
had
and no
to
one's interested,
Go
really.
along with, say, I
Right.
mean, he was redoing Jimmy Buffett's house
Right.
because he had to follow certain
Right.
He was the architect on Jimmy Buffett's house.
fixing up.
Ah,
That's
that's
what
why I
Rob-
don't know him. I mean,
He would be interested.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to him. Yeah,
Bob Hannibal did it.
yeah.
He could work with him.
Write down to Bert, see what he thinks.
Bert,
Burt Reynolds.
he would love it. Everybody who hears it likes it.
Yeah.
Nobody who's heard it says, that's a real weird idea, I don't think we should do that. No one says that.
Well, some people
It's
say,
just-
well, it can't happen.
Well, some people who don't sit
There's
and
so
listen.
much money in
Palm
the
Beach
destruction.
In the
In
destruction.
Oh,
the
in the-
destruction.
Yeah, but there's a lot more of this. They
But,
just have to
but
see
in
it.
our society, there's so much money. Break it down, build
But
it
that's
up,
not why it
rebuy
hasn't been
materials,
adopted.
you know? They make more profit on spaces that are destroyed physically.
No, I don't
countries
agree
down,
with that.
you
No,
know?
I don't think that's true. I
Keeping
think the
places
people that are
empty.
building, people
Get a
that are,
Breslin in New York.
Breslin?
Breslin.
In the case of the ashram up there, it gave people a place to live, which is the same as paying your rent. In other words, it took care of your needs so you could give everything to the ashram. This is going to pay salaries and take care of people's needs, and so they're going to give their whole, right now people go to Wall Street and work all day long conning people out of millions of dollars on paper, and they call it income. It's really just a result of a bunch of people who have knowledge about something that isn't available to all those people who are out there sending in their money. It's, you know, just what Amaret did with his followers, Wall Street people are doing with their investors. They're getting rich, and the market goes big, 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 and then finally it makes a big adjustment. The big boys don't lose anything when it makes an adjustment. All the little people lose.
And Robbins with his book, what's it, Destruction of America or something?
Yeah.
But he's focusing on
Who?
pointing out the problem.
Yeah.
He didn't
Please-
give us,
please offer
he didn't
solutions.
give us something to do that pays our rent and fixes it. That's the key. That's what it took me the longest to figure out.